Hello, everybody, and welcome to another MXGP-TV virtual studio show here with me, Paul Malin, and shortly I'll be joined by Lisa Leyland, as usual. In fact, there she is right on cue. This week's guest on our MXGP-TV studio show is none other than a 9-time world champion, of course, RedBull KTM's Antonio Cairoli. We'll catch up with him in a moment, but before we do, just say, hope everyone is well and that everybody is staying safe, even though things are looking a little bit more less restrictive than they have been over recent times. But Lisa, last week you escaped the lockdown. How has freedom been treating you this week?
Yeah, I mean, I've got an hour of freedom a day, which has been brilliant. We've been going for runs, but we were supposed to go into the next stage of lifting the restrictions. But because we're a city here in Spain, we haven't moved there yet. So maybe next week they're going to lift the restrictions further. But at the moment, it's still a little bit up in the air here. Yeah.
Bit of juggly.
A little bit like this, but it'll be fine, I'm sure.
All right. Well, look, shall we meet our first and only guest?
Let's do that.
All right. Here he is. I believe it's in Italy. RedBull KTM Factoy Racing. It's Antonio Cairoli. Welcome to our virtual studio show here on MXGP-TV on our Facebook page. Where are you? Are you down south in Rome? Tony, are you there? Okay. Hopefully we can catch in with Antonio in just a couple of moments. Maybe he can just refresh his page if he's listening to us. But a moment ago, the tests were going well. Tony, are you there? So no response from Tony at the moment. I can see him on our screen, but yeah, maybe he'll just jump in when he sees us and when he can hear us. Here he is.
Side is also not really helping the situation for sure.
So apologies there with Tony's time. We'll get back to him in just a moment or so. He's going to refresh his page. In the meantime, seems like there's one or two little glitches today. You've been in the midst of a storm this afternoon, and you also had some internet problems, Lisa.
An absolute hailstorm, literally about 2 minutes before we went live. There was like a huge hailstorm, and I had like a Wi-Fi power cut twice. So I don't know. But,
okay.
How's the weather over there?
It's great. I think we can probably hear Tony just setting up. Again, he's just changed location, so he looks like he's in a much better place now, and good to see him again. Tony, can you see us? Welcome to our live studio show once again. Where are you? Are you in Rome?
Yeah, I'm in Rome. Sorry, I had to switch place. We also had some storm, and we damaged a lot of antennas. So it's not easy to get a signal, but we have some. Looks like we have some at the moment.
All right.
Well, you didn't actually, because you were in Belgium first, weren't you? And you didn't actually leave Belgium immediately, did you? Was that because nobody really knew how serious this virus was?
Yeah, in the beginning, we were in Belgium, and after Valkenswaard, we stayed there for 2 weeks, trying to see how the situation evolved. But it get even worse, so everything shut down, also the tracks there and everything. So we had to, in the end, we didn't have really a plan from when we should come back. So we say, okay, let's go home and let's wait there.
Okay, well, how's the weather been over there in Italy, and have you been able to spend time with little Chase?
Yeah, of course the weather has been good, but the lockdown was quite strict, so we had to stay home, and we couldn't really go cycling outside or running, so we had to do everything inside. And it's worse than other countries because you cannot ride the bike, but also you couldn't really go outside, so it was quite difficult to train.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the first couple of races so far this year. And obviously the championship started at Matterley Basin. How would you describe your start to the season? Because you arrived at the first Grand Prix with one or two little injuries, a slight knee injury and a shoulder injury. So how difficult or how much pain were you in at that first round?
Actually, I didn't really expect to have such a good race and good result in England, because my shoulder was still not 100%, and also my knee I had some trouble training just before England. I twisted my knee in normal riding, and I stretched my ligaments, my collateral ligament in the knee, which was already not really looking so good. So I had to stay without riding another 2 weeks mostly, and just go racing in England. And actually, it was not too bad, because the track was very rutted, and you need to stay a lot on the pegs, and it doesn't really drag the legs so much. So it was okay. I was very carefully, but the result was what I expect. Was good.
Yeah, you mentioned the track conditions there. We did have a lot of rain, but would you say that's maybe the best conditions Matterley has been in for a long time?
Yeah, despite the time of the year, which everybody was very not happy about going to England on that time, but the track was good. I really enjoyed the riding. The track was nice. Yeah.
Well, like you just mentioned then, you said you weren't 100%, but two consistent rides for you. You were third and fourth to get third overall. Perhaps not what you really wanted, but it wasn't a complete disaster, was it, for the first round of the season?
No. For sure, like I said, it was more than I expected, and I was very happy with the result. And I know that I still had to improve a lot to stay there in front. But I also start riding very late. Normally in the beginning of the season, I was always more prepared. But this was a choice for this year to choice, and also was a matter of rehabilitation of my shoulder that takes me a little bit later at the start. So, but I was not worried about not starting too good, and instead of building up during the season. Yeah.
Well, how frustrating was the second round at Valkenswaard for you? Because from the 15 times that you've raced there, you've been on the podium 10 times, 7 times as a winner. So it must have been difficult not fighting for the win this year on probably one of your favorite tracks.
Yeah. That's right. Valkenswaard is one of my favorite track, but really with the knee problem on that track was giving me a lot of problems, because you had to put the feet on the ground like 20 times per lap. Was not an easy and flowing Valkenswaard, which everybody likes. So I had to be very, very careful to don't twist or stretch again the problem on the knee. So I was riding very, very conservative, and try to go out of that race without making more damage.
How are your injuries now? Has this time allowed you to get back to 100% or close to 100%?
Yeah, of course. This time for sure, in one side helps, because I could really improve a little bit these problems and try to solve it. But on the other side, of course, it's a time where you should build up, the speed and the riding. So it's not really for everybody. It's the same, of course, but it's for somebody who didn't ride already a lot before. It's also not really helping.
And how's your teammate Jorge? Is he 100% yet? And are you guys both riding yet, or are you even allowed to ride in Italy yet?
Jorge, I think is when we gonna be back racing, I think it will be very good. Of course. Also for him, this break is good, to heal up better. And he's at the moment is in Belgium, so he's doing his quarantine there, and he's also start riding I think there. And I start riding here in Italy a little bit. So in the beginning we're gonna be separate, but I think since the border is gonna be open again, then train together again.
Well, obviously you've won 9 World Championships. The last one came in 2017, so just 2 or 3 years ago. This race here at Trentino, is this probably one of your standout racing memories? Obviously that weekend you won the first race, but then the second race is the one where you did all those passes, to get yourself into second position to win the overall. How was that weekend for you? And as I said, is that one of the most sort of standout riding memories for you?
Of course, that Trentino race was very, very important and very important race. But first because it's in Italy, and we love to ride in Italy, and we love to race in front of our own crowd. But it was also special because everything happened in that second moto that we tried to win, but we crashed in the start, and then was not really what we expect, because always in Italy you try to be healthy and to don't crash and try to make the people happy. But everything was looking like to get not 100% right, because I crashed on the first corner, and then I was like, okay, let's just try to to be focused and try to regroup as much as possible, and try to be there on the podium and try to win for the public.
Actually, it was probably one of the most colourful podiums that we'd seen in a long time. Everybody running towards the podium, flares going. Even to call the race was pretty spectacular.
It was fantastic. The crowd and everybody running around from one side to the other of the track. But when you are riding, you don't really, you hear a little bit, but you are more focused on just try to earn as much position as possible to make the overall.
Well, every rider's dream is to win at least one home GP. How many times do you think that you've actually won a GP in Italy?
I don't know. Actually, you are you should. I don't really think about numbers. I never. It was never my goal, to think about numbers. I don't really know. Maybe you guys know more than me.
Well, Paul's the stats man, and it is actually, in fact, 12 times that you've won a GP in Italy. So that's pretty impressive.
Ah, nice. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. And obviously the first one was in 2005 as an MX2 rider, Castiglione del Lago.
Yeah.
You've won 4 times in Mantova, 3 times in Trentino, twice in Ottobiano. You've also won in Faenza and Maggiora. Out of those Grand Prix wins that you've won on Italian soil, which one stands out as being the most memorable?
As I remember, for sure, the first one. The first one is always very impressive. And in 2005, I remember, of course, really the win in Castiglione del Lago, because I was a contender for the title that year, but I was only my second full year in the World Championship, so I don't really I didn't have really experience, so I don't really know what's the feeling to win in Italy, in front of your own crowd. So that one I still remember quite nice.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, you've actually represented Italy at the Motocross of Nations 13 times, and you're just one of 3 people who have won 4 races back-to-back in the event's history. The last time you went 1-1 was at the Nations, was in Germany, where you also helped Italy to get 3rd overall. How important was that day for you?
Yeah, Motocross of Nations is always a very important race, because it's your race for your home crowd and for your home riders and other riders of the team. So it's really nice, to do and your best for that single race, and then race for the flag. That's clearly one of the most I would say satisfying thing, to win for your country.
Yeah, and obviously, that day, I mean, it was a crazy weekend in general. You know, it's quite windy, the conditions, but the track was perfect. And as we said, you know, to go 1-1 again a year after you did in Lommel, you know, doesn't happen very often. As we said, only 3 riders have done it. Stefan, you, and Glenn Koldenoff just in the last couple of years. But how was it being on a Motocross of Nations podium compared to a World Championship Grand Prix podium? Because when you're riding for Italy, it doesn't happen. It's not happened for you apart from this one time.
For sure. I mean, it's nice and it's to be on this statistics, also statistics. But I didn't really also know about this, that I was the only one. I mean, only 3 riders have done this. It's nice, of course, to know that. I mean, you can win, you know, and help your country to be on the podium. But also on one side is, I mean, frustrating that you know that you maybe you can never win a Motocross of Nation because you know you don't see really teammates that are you know able to help you to win and to get this trophy. So it's important. It's a very nice race, but in one side it's also very difficult to think, okay, I go there, but I only go for win my class or try to be on the podium as best as we can do. But to be really you know honest with yourself, it's very difficult to win the race as a team. So, but you know, it's also part of racing. You know, it's not always you can win. You always have to, you know, struggle sometimes.
Okay, well, Tony, we have some questions for you on social through Facebook. The first one is from Brett James. What is the room you are in, he says, and can you show us the trophies and magazines because they look really cool?
This room is so it's my like an office where I have like some of my trophies and some of my plates. It's just an office. The trophy room is somewhere else down in the garage, but I don't have signal there, so I cannot really go there. So, with this problem now, with this storm, next time I will show you the trophy room and the bikes and everything.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, we also have, what we've done is we put a selection of photos together for you, Tony.
Yeah.
And maybe you can help explain to us what is going on in the pictures and the videos and what they mean to you. Okay. So they're going to come up on screen. The first one is a little Tony. How old were you here when this picture was taken and where was it?
This was in my grandparents' property in Sicily, and I was there like I think this was just the Monday after I win like some regional titles, probably in let's say I was 6 years old, so it was like 91 or 92, I think. Yeah,
cool.
Do you still have those trophies?
Yeah, the trophies in my parents' house in Sicily, they still have this trophy for sure. I bet they are still there.
Fantastic. Okay, right. The next one is a video. Tell us, where was this and did Jill... Oh, it's actually a picture. Where was this and did Jill eventually get that kiss?
This one was, let's say, this year, I think 1st of January. And we were together with our friends, Lupino, and also the other family, the Lupino's family. We went skiing here close to Rome. That was I think this is the picture. This is the picture from that time. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, the next one is racing cars. When did your relationship start with Lamborghini, and do you plan to perhaps race cars full time when you hang up your motocross boots?
This was taken in Jerez in Spain at the World Finals last year, which I was a wild card for Lamborghini Squadra Corse. My relationship with Lamborghini started end of 2018. We trust in the beginning. We just talk and we just had some passion in common, which is motocross with the boss, and also with the team boss, with the big boss of Lamborghini, and with the team boss of the Squadra Corse, which they are both passionate for motocross. So we get this deal that sometimes I have a go to ride for them in some events, and to be partner of some other project that will drop in the future. And it's really interesting. I really like cars, and I really like anything. I mean, that has an engine, for me it's a passion for sure.
Brilliant. Okay. The next one is your teammate. Tell us how much fun is it having Jorge Prado around, and what is it about him that you like so much? Because you guys are really good friends, aren't you?
Yeah, of course. It's really nice to have Jorge. First of all, because it's a very nice kid, and very nice and very technical. I think one of the best in the world, without any doubt. So it's nice to train with him also, because I have I'm quite older than him, and it's also very important, for the motivation to have somebody young who is next to you, training together, and see him also helping as I can, as much as I can to give him some advice to be a world champion in the next years.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, we've got another question for you on Facebook. This is from Monica. And Nadine. What is your favorite pasta?
Okay, my favorite pasta is, I love a lot of different kind of pasta sauce and pasta types, but carbonara is one of my favorite of all time, and this is the answer for sure. Carbonara, it's my favorite pasta.
Well, can I ask you one thing about carbonara? Because I cooked a carbonara the other day, and I put a picture up on Instagram, and I got about 4 people messaging me saying that my carbonara was too dry, and carbonara is supposed to be creamy. But I was told that carbonara was supposed to be dry. Is it dry or creamy?
Normally when you put the egg, on the pasta, over the pasta, because normally you cook the pasta, then you smash, the eggs.
Yeah.
And then you have to put without fire on.
Yeah.
The fire off. So you put the egg in the pasta, and then you just mix everything. But if the pan is too hot, it's also not good, because it start to make hard pieces. And of course also you don't need to put you put also the white of the egg together, or no?
No, I didn't.
Just the yellow.
Just the yolk, but apparently mine looked more like scrambled egg than carbonara.
Yeah, that was a mistake. Maybe you was too hot, and you
overcooked.
It was overcooked. It was overcooked. Right. Okay. Well, we've got video for you, in fact, now, Tony. Now, just tell us, how successful were the Tony Cairoli online video workouts you did during the lockdown? And can we expect a training DVD to be in the shops for Christmas?
Why not? They were really successful, and let's say everybody in this current quarantine become a personal trainer. I think everyone start to be a super fit athlete, and I think some of them become very fat because they only eat, and some of them become really super fit. So I think it's a nice idea. With RedBull we made these clips because to keep the people busy during these weeks, and don't get too fat.
No, don't get too fat. Tony Cairoli's advice there.
Yeah, okay. You can get a little bit fat if you want, but not too fat.
Not too fat. No.
Brilliant. Okay, so we have got another picture for you. It looks like some sketchy driving going on here, Tony. Just tell us what's going on in this next picture.
Video.
Where is it?
I'll
finally get it up.
Here we go.
Yeah, here
Yes.
was going on a little bit of TikTok session with the voice of Guido Meda, which is it's a MotoGP commentator in Italy. So I thought it was funny and was a nice funny moment, to have a different handlebar, on my hands.
Actually, can we play that clip again? Because obviously, there like as Lisa said, it looked like there was some sketchy driving. You only had one hand on the handlebar. You should know, Tony. Always keep two hands on the handlebars.
Yeah.
You nearly put the baby through the wall.
Yeah. We lost the control a little bit.
Well, he's okay though. Here we go, look. Driving one-handed. This is what happens, kids, when you drive one-handed on the handlebars. Watch. Into the wall. Poor old Chase.
Yeah, we also did the stopping. Yeah.
Front stoppy.
He's super cool though, Chase. He's super cool though. He doesn't mind with
He's
his
got some curly hair.
He likes
He's got
a
some
lot.
curly hair.
Yeah, he like a lot of the engines raving, so I think it's on the right situation. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Any more questions, Lisa, or we good?
We have got some social questions. Shall we do
Yep.
some social questions? We have got one from Steve Davis. How do you continue to motivate yourself?
Okay, for sure. It's after so many years, it's not easy not to find the motivation to train and to stay on this level. But like I said, a lot of times, until I see that I can improve somewhere or something, I keep going and I keep doing all the best I can, to stay there in front and fight for the podiums. So this is what keeps me motivated. After when I see, one day that I'm not competitive anymore and I don't really have the feeling to suffer and to do my best especially in the training days, which are the most difficult because the races are always most of the time fun, and you win your race on the training days, and this is clearly right, of course.
Okay. We have Ermis 2003 says, which is your most memorable championship season in your career?
Yeah, with so many titles, of course, it's difficult to choose one, of course. But I always say it's my first title is my nicest, because everybody wanna become world champion one day, and when you even get close or win a title, it's something that you will remember forever. And especially coming from the years before, where you didn't. Okay, the year before I was third in the championship, but the year before I was not even qualifying. So it's something that you will remember, because it will stick in your mind forever.
Okay. We have Tommy Herrera 95. Which is your favorite MXGP track? Which I think you answered it already. It was Valkenswaard. Is that correct?
Depends. If it was like this year, not. No, I mean, lately, my favorite track is Patagonia, so Argentina. MXGP of Argentina is my favorite track, Villa Langostura. So I think you have a lot of nice tracks, but of course, lately, it's my favorite is Villa Langostura.
Okay. Hey, it is no. Hey, it is no.
I hope I could pronounce that correctly.
Hey, it is no Ami says, I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Best advice for a motocross beginner.
Learn to read.
You don't have to read all the names out, Paul. You have the easy job.
Best advice, I think, first of all, you just have to enjoy when you are doing just for fun. What that means that you are doing because you like stuff, and so you have to enjoy the moment, and and don't think too much about results, or just be there for fun, and do it as much as you can, because practice always helps a lot to improve, and of course staying healthy, and don't make things too difficult. Also helps you to stay in the beginning in the injury, which could also cause you a little bit of fear if you just start riding motorbikes.
Brilliant advice. James Smith, what are you watching on Netflix at the moment?
Okay, nice question. I don't really watch much Netflix, but with this quarantine, I start to watch some series. I watch. At the moment, I'm watching Vikings, which is quite very long. I think series. It's like so many seasons. So I'm still going, but I don't really see an end of this of this series. So this at the moment is this going on. This one.
Tony, I've seen all of it. I'm right at the end of Vikings.
Oh, okay.
And it's so sad but true. But I must have finished it within about a month. All of it, all the seasons.
Oh. 1 month.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't have much to do with my time at the moment. So, but it's good. It's really good. So stick with it. Stick with it.
Okay.
Actually, just put him out of his misery. Just tell him what happens. So he doesn't have a month.
There's loads of fighting in Vikings. It's a little bit violent, isn't it? Do you not think? It's a bit violent.
Yeah, it's quite violent. Yeah. But we'll see. It's nice. I can't wait to start again watching it later.
Okay. Another question. Tony Green, do you listen to music before you go to race? If you do, what music do you listen to?
Yeah, I listen a lot of music, and I like music a lot. So lately, I start also to play a little bit music as trying to learn a little bit. To be a DJ. That's another passion that I have, and I have a lot of friends who do it for a job. So looks really cool, cool job also. But yeah, I listen a lot of ADM music, trance, or also even commercials, dance sometimes. But most of the time, EDM is my favorite.
Good stuff. Okay, that's it for the social questions for now.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, look, excuse me, before we go, obviously we mentioned it earlier and everybody knows you have won 9 World Championships. 2 of those you won in Europe, 2 in Brazil, different tracks. You've also won in Northern Ireland, in Germany, in England at Matterley, at Faenza, and at Assen. In terms of winning titles on those at those venues, which one stands out the most to you and why?
Yeah, of course, in Italy, in Faenza, when I won my 2012 was very emotional because there was so many people, and it's not easy for a rider to win already a race in your country, but to win a championship in your own soil is and then to make to celebrate with a lot of Italian fans is very memorable, and I really remember this as the most nicest.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So no more questions on
social? No more social questions. No.
All right. Well, look, before we go, I don't normally do this actually, requests and things like that, but there's a guy who's going to be celebrating a birthday in England on Wednesday, a guy called John Main, really struggling to get out and about at the moment because of COVID virus in England. So just want to wish him a happy birthday on Wednesday ahead of time. Hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching. And also, Lisa, maybe you can, and also Tony, maybe you can just say happy birthday, John. It would make his day.
Hey, John, happy birthday. Enjoy your day.
Happy birthday, John. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.
And hopefully you get to get out and about soon and get back to the races like all of us. Well, look, that is all we've got time for this week. Thanks to Tony from RedBull KTM Factoy Racing, of course, 9-time World Champion Antonio Cairoli for joining us here today on our MXGP-TV virtual studio show 2.7. It's done 7 of these now. And also to Lisa in Spain, and to Christian and Gabriele, our team in Italy as well, for bringing these live images. Good work, fellas, as always. But I will be back on Tuesday with another Instagram Live, and Libby Lancelo will be my guest at 5 o'clock. So hopefully you can join me then. Once again, thanks for watching, and see you at a racetrack very soon, Tony. And thank you for joining us once again. Right, that's it. We're out of time. See you all later. Bye for now.
Bye.